Hi, this is Ms. Pellegrin with a little bit of homework help on expressions. Okay, name the coefficient in the expression below. Okay, so the coefficient is the number in front of a variable. I should probably change this. Okay, so the number in front of a variable, so the coefficient is -10. Number 2, distribute. Distribute means to multiply what's on the outside times everything on the inside. Give it. So 4 times -3 is -12x, and 4 times a +2 is a +8. Okay, number 3, add. Okay, so we're adding these two things together. So parentheses are actually not needed here. We have a +13x and a +7. Because there's nothing on the outside to distribute, that's why they're not actually important here. We can regroup this together, so we could say we have 13x plus 7x, and we have plus 2 minus 10. And so we could just regroup that commutative property. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20 gives me 20x, and then plus, actually not plus, because 2 minus 10 is a -8. There's a plus sign there. Okay, so I had the plus sign, but 2 minus 8 is a -8 sign. They're different. Subtract. So this would actually be 20x minus 8 would be my answer there. Okay. So in this one we're subtracting. Okay, so there's a little difference here. When I distribute here, positive times a positive is a positive. Positive times a negative is a negative. So nothing changes. But when there's a subtraction sign there, it's like having a -1 that needs to be distributed into everything else. So we can't do the same thing when we have subtraction. So we have to distribute that. So we can say this is 20a minus 10. Negative times a negative is a positive 12a. And negative times a negative is, again, a positive. So a positive 3. Okay, so I have 20a and 12a. And so that gives me 32a. And then I have a -10 and a +3, which gives me a -7. Okay. And finally, number 5. Make sure I have enough room. Looks like a long problem, but we'll see. Okay, so -10y, -y. There's no more y's, so that gives me -11y. Okay, I always go for variables first. So 2x, x, 3x, and then +8 and -3, 8, 7, 6, 5. Gives me a plus because I'm keeping this sign, greater absolute value, subtracting the different signs, so +5. And finally, I guess I will do geometric figures in this one. Okay, geometric figures. Find the value of x. Okay, so these are, oh, I need to go to where I can write. These are vertical angles. So that means that they are congruent. So that means they're equal to each other. And so that means 2x plus 2 is equal to 120. So then you have your two-step equation. Subtract 2 from both sides. That should be underneath the 0. So I'll line it up correctly. But 2x is equal to 120 minus 2 is 118. Divide both sides by 2. And so x is equal to 118 divided by 2 is 59. So x is equal to 59. It just says find the value of x, not the value of the angle, because the angle is obviously going to be 120 degrees. Okay, again, find the value of x. So we have a triangle. What I know about a triangle is that the total value has to be 180 degrees. So x plus 30, so each angle, plus 110 has to equal a total of 180. Combine our like terms, so we have 2 x's, and then 110 plus 30 gives me 140 is equal to 180. Subtract that 140, now I've got a two-step equation. From both sides, that leaves me with 2x is equal to 40, divide both sides by 2. So x is equal to 20. Okay, classify this triangle by its sides and angles. So what kind of triangle is it? Because it has two sides that are the same, it's called an isosceles triangle. And then also your angles. So all of the angles are acute, so it's also acute. Find the value of x. So those two angles are complementary. So together they are equal to 90 degrees. So when we add the angle that is x plus 50 and the one that is 4x, it is supposed to give me 90 degrees because it is a right angle. And so combine our like terms, we have 5 x's all together plus 50 equals 90. Two-step equation. Subtract that 50 from both sides, leaving me with 5x is equal to 40. Divide both by 5. X is equal to 8. And it just asked us to find the value of x and not each angle. If I wanted to, I could. So 4 times x, 4 times 8 is 32 degrees. And then 8 plus 50 is 58 degrees. And so if I added that together to make sure that it equaled 90, I would get 90 degrees. Okay, finally, number 5. Find the measure of x, and so these are supplementary. Because they make a straight line, and so therefore they're equal to 180 degrees altogether. So x plus 105 degrees plus 40 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. And so x plus 105 plus 40 is 145 is equal to 180. And then just a little one-step equation here. Subtract that 145 from both sides. And so when I subtract 180 minus 145, I get x is equal to 35 degrees. Okay, that is it for your homework help.